is one of my favorite characters from the show, and I really wanted to put her in the good section of the review, but after seeing what they did with her in this season, I changed my mind. Before talking about Lute specifically, there is a scene I need to address. Thanks to a quick flashback, we find out that Adam and Lute were cruel towards the exorcists. And I have to ask, what purpose did this scene serve? Was it meant to show us that heaven is hypocritical and actually bad? And if that's the case, then why would Charlie consider heaven to be better than hell? Why would she want to send sinners to a place that is actually bad? This also paints Vaggie in a negative light. If she knows her fellow exorcists were abused by Adam and Lute, why did she kill them without remorse in the season 1 finale? Once again, the show's writers don't think about implications and only care about what looks cool and edgy in a given moment. This scene left me with the impression that they purposely tried to retroactively portray them as cartoonishly evil, just like Stella, because many in the audience realized that although they were rude, they were in the right. And the results are questionable. Now we have a character who still decides to identify as vagina despite being named by her abuser, and Sarah and the Speaker of God are apparently okay with having a now openly misogynistic man who beats women regularly to lead an army entirely made of women. This Adam isn't the same character we saw in Season 1. Season 1 Adam was vulgar, unpleasant, and overly sexual, but he never hit women. Season 2 Adam beats women regularly and gleefully. It's a shift from obnoxious jerk to caricature villain, and it's not handled well. I already explained why I personally don't think Adam is sexist in my Season 1 review, so I won't repeat myself. Now let's focus on Lute. The court scene in heaven in episode 2 was surreal to me because she only said coherent things, and everyone else kept treating her like she was insane.
We don't need answers, we need action. He killed Adam, that's an act of war. We need to go down
Lute, silence!
This is the room of the Speaker, and I will use my voice. With all due respect, Seraphim, I was right about them. Adam was right about them. This demon filth is not to be trusted. He and his kind should all be dead.
She could have phrased her concerns more politely, but she's not wrong. Adam, and also other exorcists, but no one cares, has been killed. Hell is now more dangerous than before, and heaven should be ready to defend itself. And considering what happens later, she was right. Then another character, who reminds me of Stolas if he took a bath in butter, intervenes. She is the Speaker of God and asks Pensius to tell his story. He does that, and Lute replies with this.
Now! You are not really buying this shit! He was a spineless coward who let people be murdered! But then he attempts a murder himself and he wins a ticket to heaven? Bullshit!
I 100% agree with her. It's not fair, and he doesn't deserve to be in heaven.
You acted selfless. You cared more for the lives of others than your own, and made the ultimate sacrifice.
Except that wasn't an ultimate sacrifice. He just wanted to save the girl he had a crush on. This sacrifice wasn't really tied to his sin. The show also fails to address that Pensius' actions were fueled by his greed. The killer was a rich client, and Pensius kept getting his money to build his weapons. How exactly does sacrificing himself for Cherry Bomb tie to his greed? And by the way, what's the point of having more rings in hell based on the sin, if sinners can only stay in the Pride Ring? He should have made this sacrifice when he was alive. Why should it matter if he did it after he died? How does that help the women who were killed? This means that in the Hazbin Hotel universe, mortal life has no value. Pensius being rewarded after death despite causing suffering in life suggests that this show values actions taken in the afterlife over actual mortal consequences, which undermines the entire concept of sins matter while you are alive.
I cannot believe this! Your Highness, I know you are wise, far beyond me, but this beast came from the dark pit, sent by the Princess of Hell herself. We cannot fall for his lies. He was under the command of the Morning Star, the first fallen angel and his daughter. It was her who called for redemption and then somehow found it through the death of one of us. That cannot mean nothing to you.
I know I'm just repeating myself at this point, but she's correct, and this time she even expressed humility, telling the voice of God that she considers her wiser than her. Pensius wasn't sent by Charlie as a spy, and she genuinely wanted to help him, but we know it because we are the audience. Lute doesn't know that, so it doesn't feel wrong for her not to immediately trust the demon. Even if we exclude her mental distress, her question is valid. How can it be fair that a sinner killed a winner and can now enjoy eternity in heaven? Why does no one care that Adam died?
Sarah! You know more than anyone here how much hell has tried to gain power for an uprising. It's only a matter of time. Adam knew it, and now He's dead. We need to go down and...
Lute, enough! You will not address the speaker like that.
Your Highness, you know why you allowed the exterminations. Because you knew hell was a threat. Now they know they can bring down an archangel. Now heaven is in very real danger, and you...
Lute, this changes things.
It changes nothing! Some slimy fucker tricks fate into allowing him here. It means nothing!
I really empathize with her here because I thought the exact same thing. The way the show treats redemption makes it feel as if it can be used to cheat the system, and I find it unfair to the innocent people in heaven, who can't have justice even in the afterlife. Then she sings Gravity, a song which has me conflicted. The song itself isn't bad at all, despite being too short for my personal tastes. But I have one problem with it. This song hypes Lute as a character who will be important and who will make hard rain fall down like gravity, like she says. Except she does nothing. So this song is a hyped nothing burger. I think it would have worked much better if used as the season finale song. It would have worked as a dark omen of what was to come. After episode 2, Lute appears only one more time, in episode 5, and... why is she here? Knowing how involved Lute was in the exterminations and how much the loss of Adam has shaken her, why did Sarah call her to a meeting where the primary purpose is to resolve the conflict between heaven and hell? Since Lute has been demoted, they could have just sent Abel as a representative of heaven's army. Why bring her of all people? Whoever worked on episode 2 completely ignored what would happen in episode 5. And it shows because Lute does nothing, not even when Vox explicitly threatens them. And why is she not antagonistic to Charlie? It was Nifty who killed Adam, but all the events of season 1 happened because of Charlie.
He was under the command of the Morning Star, the first fallen angel and his daughter. It was her who called for redemption and then somehow found it through the death of one of us. That cannot mean nothing to you.
Her inaction is in direct contrast to her character and what we've seen in episode 2. All because the writing only focuses on the development of a single scene and what is appropriate to show at a given moment, rather than considering the whole thing. Lute is right, but the way she behaves in episode 5 seems out of character. I can only hope she will be handled better in the remaining seasons. Before moving on, there's one final thing I have to say, because it may seem like I'm trying to elevate Lute as the most moral character just because I like her and dislike Charlie. I don't think Lute is a good person. I think she's wrong morally, but correct logically. When she says this,
I am willing to give my life for heaven to stop those filthy fucking monsters.
she's not saying it because she genuinely wants to protect the innocent people in heaven. She's just bloodlust and wants to avenge Adam. And her bloodlust can't even be justified by her nature. The show heavily implies exorcists are heaven-born. If that's the case, Baggy and Lute were literally created to kill demons. And despite that, Baggy doesn't constantly want to skewer sinners. So being violent is just Lute's nature. With that said, I think what Lute says regarding Pensius and Charlie's idea of redemption is correct. If we analyze what she's saying after filtering out the swears and her emotional state, she's not wrong. Hell is a menace, sinners want to hurt winners, and in this case, redemption does feel like a way to avoid divine punishment after death. We also have to consider that a sinner redeeming himself is an extraordinary event in the Hazbin Hotel universe. If even Sarah, a potentially billions-year-old angel, initially feared Pensius for being a demon who had invaded heaven, why shouldn't Lute have a problem with it? She literally spent her whole existence fighting demons because everyone thought her sinners are vile creatures, which by the way is a correct definition for almost all of them. Are we really not going to cut her some slack for not immediately accepting that a demon redeemed himself? Once again, if a character doesn't immediately accept Charlie's delusional ideas, they are labeled as evil and close-minded. I just find it dishonest that everyone unfairly treats Lute as if she were insane, just because the writers clearly favor Charlie's flawed idea of redemption. Just because a character hinders the protagonist, it doesn't necessarily mean they aren't correct. And we viewers shouldn't immediately accept everything the protagonist says just because the narrative tells us so.